What's the most expensive thing you have? Had to think in terms of what would be the most expensive thing to replace right now if I lost everything in a fire. And frankly it's memories. I have a ton of pictures from boxes, bins and piles laying around as my father just passed away a few months ago. And all I can think is I need to digitize all of this so my son can still access it. Although it would only have memories for him if he can recall what I told him about each photo. So fuck all those that think an inanimate object would ever have value over a life lived. Well, if we talk about categories of things, then it'll be my music collection. Not sure which is the most expensive, it's either cassette tapes or vinyls. If we talk about one exact thing, then it'll be my Kenwood tape deck. That's it. Though, these are the thing I've completely or mostly bought with my own money. If it doesn't count and we talk about all the things that I have in my life, then it's the ordinary and boring answer: flat, house, car. I would say my house but come back to me in 6 years when I've paid off the mortgage. So I'll go with my cat. That fuzzy wee Bampot has destroyed more of my things in an earthquake. He's adorable, mind you, so I won't get rid of his useless little fucking arse just yet, the box hoarding wee twatsok. Also, the boyfriend seems to love him more than me, so I'll just wait for an opportune time to do them both in. Excluding a house and car, I have a Jordan Rookie 86 Fleer card that I got when I was a kid when I had to buy basketball cards because they ran out of baseball cards. I don't know the exact amount it is worth because it hasn't been professionally graded. It isn't mint, but it doesn't have frayed corners or anything like that. I'm guessing the 25-cent pack yielded a card worth at least 10 grand. My Magic the Gathering collection. I have it insured for $10,000 under my renter's insurance and that wouldn't even scratch the surface. Most expensive individual cards are about $1000, $1500, I have 2 or 3. About 2 dozen between $300 and $1000. With more between $100 and $300. My total card count is well north of 50,000 cards. By which I mean I have 5,000 count boxes full and then a shit ton more. I have a degree in animation I haven't been able to do anything with. So there's that. I have a car that whatever used car crisis happened made it still worth the same as when I got it. After that, it's a toss-up between my computer and my snake enclosure. Getting the enclosure set up cost me more than triple what the animal did. And I'll need to upgrade it in a few years too. House and cars, by let's leave those off for fun. So if you're looking at value, probably one of my comics. I have a Flash comic that last time I looked was worth about $5,000. But I got it in a cheap bulk order of comics that were mostly garbage. If you look at how much I spent for something, then probably my $2,500 for Edge, a high-end designer purse. Back in high school, I was socially ostracized because I didn't have a Coach purse. My family couldn't afford one, but I didn't want one anyway because I didn't like them, the purses or the other girls. Now I'm a working adult and own a Gucci because I actually wanted one. But a sweet little victory too. Gaming laptop, but if we're talking about current worth resale value, my Roland keyboard. The laptop retails for more, but it depreciates in value much more than the keyboard. It's still a professional quality keyboard, but the specs of the laptop are out of date now with the current processors. The car is the most expensive thing I own outright. By spring I will have paid more for my apartment, but it doesn't belong to me. If you want to get really literal, housing my brain in a body that continuously requires food, shelter, exercise and healthcare costs an insane amount of money. My Japanese Epiphone Les Paul Signature handmade, I bought it from a guy for approximately $400. It was in perfect condition because he bought it to learn but never used it. When I researched that version it was approximately $1,200. I take better care of it than I do myself. My 2010 F-150 Lariat, I love her. She's expensive but I still wouldn't sell her for twice the value. The seats are like recliners. The sunroof is a window to the stars. The wood trim on the dash is beautiful. The center console is the best thing I've ever rested my elbow on. God bless Ford. My family, and this is not judgmental, I love them all very much and would do it a million times over, but supporting a family through childhood and into post-secondary education is expensive. They are so worth it. I never knew how much love I could feel for them. It grows all the time. The distinction between have and own in the question is noted in its nuance. Own house, car. Have my university education. Controversial: take access to public healthcare. Canada, I'm in a tax bracket where I pay a significant amount of taxes to be afforded access to it. Tools. I have been collecting them for 35 years and get almost all of them secondhand for almost nothing, but if I had to buy them new it would be more than the value left in my truck. I'm not counting the house, since although it's very expensive, the bank really owns it for now. I have a very well-paying job and my most expensive possession is my 6-year-old MacBook Air. House? No, I live as an expat and am renting. Car? No, I want one but I don't need one. I put my salary into savings, and spend the rest on travel and convenience. Besides my car, Sony XM4 headphones. I don't splurge much. I got them the same day I decided I needed new headphones. Looked up the first pair of good ones and went to the nearest Best Buy that same hour. One of the best large sums of money I ever spent. A sealed, brand new Zelda: A Link to the Past French-Canadian variant Super Nintendo graded 9.8. The highest grade possible since 10.0 graded SNES games doesn't exist, not that I've seen. Probably unique in the world in that condition. The condition of my copies of Legends Cycle by Clayton Emery. I should have paid $100 per book. I paid $70 for the whole trilogy. I've seen similar condition of these books on eBay for more than $400 to a trilogy. I got super lucky. Property. The house is worth peanuts by comparison and is a depreciating asset. Buying a dirt in one of the most expensive cities in the world was by far the best investment I ever made. One day we move, downsize and retire. 1. A piece of paper that says I have a bachelor's degree. 2. Right next to it is another piece of paper that says I have a master's degree, and since it's from a Canadian university, that whole thing costs less than 1/4 of the former. My house. Took all my savings and had to sell my condo to buy it monetarily expensive and keep the mortgage within a reasonable amount I can afford. I'm forced to work every day to continue to pay that mortgage. Time expensive. 1. Mountain bike, not even full suspension. 2. 2007 Subaru Outback with 230,000 miles. 3. My other mountain bike. But if we're talking dumb pieces of paper too, my bachelor's degree and my welding school certificate. Beyond the obvious, like a car or home, it's my desktop setup. Collection of things, but between my chair, monitors, desk, core system and other peripherals there's easily $10,000 spent for daily consumption. My New Zealand residency. The amount of money I've spent on temporary visas, medicals, police checks and other required documentation over the years to move here from Scotland is crazy. Worth it though. Our apartment we bought. Next comes the car, but toasted I forgot I'm married and I have a kid, so damn, the first two will never be able to compete, especially the wife who has a very soft spot for Pokemon. House for sure. Modest 2-bed bungalow in a nice area, safe for my disabled brother to walk a short distance to the local convenience store, post office and doctors. Also a pub and fish chip shop. Aside from my POS car, 2 Loungefly bags that cost around $100 each. I'm not a collector though, I just really like Loungefly and the goal is to have enough someday that I can rotate seasonally. My Martin guitar. It was a splurge, but I wanted to buy the last guitar I'll ever need. So far, mission accomplished. Doesn't stop me from buying and selling other guitars just for fun, of course. My camera gear. Fuji 35mm f1.4, Fuji 18mm 2.0, Fuji 18f55 2.84, Fuji 5142.8, and I'm still wanting to add more. Lol, smiley face. Used to have a fully Nikon setup but sold it off when I switched. A Corvette I paid cash for in 2002. I paid more for the car than I paid to build my home. We have a big family that build homes for a living, so that is why I built my house for cheaper. Smiley face. 1. My degree. 2. Teeth and mouth maintenance braces, wisdom teeth removal, then eventually jaw surgery. 3. My PC. Every time I think about them, especially number 2, hurts my wallet. Crypto bag, 5-digit worth of R. Notable mentions. Bachelor's degree 4 years. PC all in all about €1,000, RTX 3060 etc. Electric guitar. Repairs and upgrades included €1,000. 1. My wife. 2. 2 houses. 3. 5 cars. 4. My medicine, $500 per month. 5. My home audio addiction. 24 speakers and countless amps, DACs. Besides the meds, I wouldn't change a thing. My PS5 and LG OLED C155 that I got both this June. It cost me $1,975 and the average monthly salary where I live is $258. So I had to save a lot of money to purchase both. Besides the obvious and same answers of car and kid, It would be my TV I guess, or if I can combine things it would be my hats if I paid full price for them all, which I do not. Smoldering multiple myeloma. There is about 10 chance per year of getting multiple myeloma. Chemotherapy could cost $250,000 per year. Not counting possible stem cell therapy. Your question can be answered both ways. Most expensive could mean what costs you the most to keep, or your most valuable asset. Cost my home. Valuable my LLC. House I own at 50-50 with my partner. Car. Right now, the $4,000 worth of hay I bought a couple weeks ago feels like the most expensive thing I own, though. I would say my car, but then I realize, it's still half owned by the bank. Rolling eyes face. So I would say my desk. It's nearly 200 years old, huge and made of oak wood. I would guess our house and another piece of property I own. But damn, my truck cost me more than I paid for either one of them when I bought it. If you mean expensive because of how much money I've spent on it, I'm with some nest or my degree. If you mean I can get cash for my car, me a few years ago would have been like my TV or something, now it's house, car, dog, weary face. I'd sell them all except the dog if my wife would let me. My cat. I've spent at least £5,000 on vet bills for him. I have pet insurance, but he is 5, so there are a lot of exclusions on the policy. The ICD implanted in my chest. It's insane what that little device cost, not even counting the surgery etc. Of course, I live in the US. My record collection. After that, my 2015 Fender Jazzmaster guitar. I'm not a realty guy. Don't own a house or car and mostly buy used.